What if the real reason your life feels stuck isn't bad luck, a lack of talent, or missed opportunities, but a quiet absence of discipline? You never learned to love? Before we go any further, pause for a second. Ask yourself this honestly. What would your life look like 1 year from now if you became addicted to discipline instead of motivation? Not inspired once in a while, not hyped for a week, but truly addicted to showing up, to doing the work, to mastering yourself. If that question hit something inside you, then you're exactly where you need to be. And before we dive deep, do me a small favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and commit to watching it till the very end. Because what you're about to hear doesn't just change how you work or think. It can completely transform your love life, your confidence, and the way people experience you. Now let me tell you a story. Marcus Aurelius was not born into comfort of the mind. Even though he lived in comfort of the world, he was an emperor of Rome, surrounded by power, wealth, and influence. Yet when you read his private journal, what we now call Meditations, you don't hear a man drunk on luxury. You hear someone fighting his own laziness, his fear, his anger, his desires. You hear a man reminding himself every morning to get out of bed when it was warm and tempting to stay under the covers. He wrote to himself not to impress others, but to discipline his soul. And that's where our journey begins. Because discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not suffering. Discipline is not forcing yourself to live a miserable life. Discipline, when understood correctly, becomes addictive, more addictive than comfort, more satisfying than pleasure, more powerful than motivation. So today, we're going to walk through 6 timeless strategies inspired by Marcus Aurelius and Stoic, philosophy that can make discipline your new identity, not something you do, something you are. Let's build the foundation first. Most people chase motivation. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes, it's unreliable. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He never said, wait until you feel like it. He said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. That strength is discipline. Strategy 1. Define your inner empire before trying to conquer the outer world. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome, but before he ruled others, he worked relentlessly to rule himself. He knew that without inner order, outer success would collapse. Today, people want results, money, love, respect, status, but they skip the most important step, deciding who they are becoming. Ask yourself, who is the disciplined version of me? Not what does he achieve, not what does she own, but how does this person behave when no one is watching? A disciplined person wakes up with intention. A disciplined person keeps promises to themselves. A disciplined person doesn't negotiate with weakness. When you define this identity clearly, discipline stops feeling like effort. It becomes alignment. Every time you act with discipline, you're not forcing yourself, you're simply being who you decided to be. This alone can change your love life. Why? Because discipline creates reliability. Reliability creates trust, and trust is irresistible. People fall in love with those who are steady, grounded, and consistent. Not chaotic, not emotionally reactive. Discipline makes you safe, and safety is attractive. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Strategy 2. Make discomfort your teacher, not your enemy. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The reason discipline feels hard is because you've been trained to avoid discomfort at all costs. Modern life is built to protect you from pain, fast food, endless scrolling, instant entertainment, constant distraction. Marcus Aurelius lived in a world without these comforts, but he still practiced voluntary discomfort. Why? Because he knew something we've forgotten. Discomfort sharpens the soul. He would remind himself that he could survive hunger, cold, fatigue, criticism, and loneliness. Not to suffer, but to free himself from fear. When you willingly choose discomfort, discipline becomes empowering. Cold showers, early mornings, focused work, difficult conversations, these stop being enemies and start becoming proof of your strength. And something fascinating happens when you lean into discomfort. You begin to crave it, not because it feels good in the moment, but because of how it makes you feel afterward. Proud, grounded, unshakable. In relationships, this shows up as emotional discipline. You stop chasing validation. You stop reacting impulsively. You listen more. You speak calmly. You don't collapse under conflict. That kind of presence is rare and magnetic. Strategy 3. Remove negotiation from your daily life. Marcus Aurelius did not debate with his excuses. He didn't sit there asking, "Should I do the right thing today?" He assumed responsibility was non-negotiable. Most people fail at discipline because they negotiate with themselves every single day. "I'll start tomorrow. Just this once. I deserve a break. I'll make it up later." Every negotiation weakens you. Discipline becomes addictive when decisions are already made. You wake up and you already know what needs to be done. No drama, no debate, no emotional discussion. Marcus wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have to go to work as a human being.' Not 'I feel like it,' not 'I'm motivated,' but 'this is who I am.' When you eliminate negotiation, discipline turns into routine. Routine turns into identity. Identity turns into destiny. And here's where your love life quietly transforms again. You stop sending mixed signals. You stop being inconsistent. You stop disappearing and reappearing. You become clear, direct, grounded. That clarity makes people feel chosen, not confused. Strategy 4. Focus only on what is within your control. This is the heart of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius repeated this idea endlessly. Some things are up to you and some things are not. Your actions, your effort, your attitude, these are yours. Outcomes, opinions, timing, these are not. Discipline grows when you stop attaching it to results. Most people say, "I'll stay disciplined as long as it works." Stoics say, "I'll stay disciplined because it's right." When you detach discipline from outcome, you become unstoppable. You work without obsession. You love without attachment. You show up without expectation. This mindset is powerful in every area of life, but especially in relationships. You stop trying to control how others feel. You stop forcing outcomes. You show up fully and let life respond. That calm confidence, that emotional independence, it's intoxicating. Strategy 5. Practice daily self-reflection like your life depends on it. Marcus Aurelius wrote every night, not for the public, not for praise, for correction. He reviewed his day honestly. Where did I fall short? Where did I act with virtue? Where did I let emotion control me? Discipline without reflection becomes blind effort. Reflection turns effort into wisdom. When you reflect daily, discipline compounds. You notice patterns. You catch excuses early. You course correct before damage is done. Ask yourself every night, did I act according to my values today? Did I avoid what was hard? Did I become better or just busier? This habit alone separates leaders from followers. And in love, reflection makes you emotionally intelligent. You stop repeating the same mistakes. You stop choosing the same toxic patterns. You grow. People don't fall for perfection. They fall for self-awareness. Strategy 6. Remember death and let it sharpen your discipline. This might sound dark, but it's deeply freeing. Marcus Aurelius practiced memento mori, the remembrance of death. Not to become fearful, but to become focused. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." When you remember that time is limited, discipline stops feeling heavy. It becomes urgent, precious. You stop wasting days. You stop delaying growth. You stop tolerating mediocrity. And you start living with intention. In love, this creates depth, presence, honesty. You say what matters. You value people fully. You don't play games. That level of sincerity is rare and unforgettable. Now let's bring it all together. Discipline is not about becoming rigid. It's about becoming free. Free from impulses, free from excuses, free from emotional chaos, free from a life you secretly regret. Marcus Aurelius didn't wait to feel ready. He trained himself daily, quietly, consistently, imperfectly. And over time, discipline became who he was. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You just need to choose one disciplined action today and repeat it tomorrow. That's how addiction to discipline begins. Not with force, but with commitment. Not with motivation, but with identity. If this video resonated with you, if it made you think differently about discipline, love, and your inner strength, then stay connected. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and keep walking this path with us. Because the disciplined life is not a boring life. It's a powerful one. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.